Hey, I'm Carlos Walk. So this is my second live stream of the day. The first one I was talking about my what I'm publishing on Substack. And so this one I'm just going to talk about like literally what happened yesterday because it was again, it's par for the course, but whatever. I'm just giving updates. I'm documenting everything and so when all justice comes due, there will be a clear trail of what happened and who did what, basically. So I just did this live stream, and I'm telling you, my everything has been hacked, right? But normally, I don't have a problem streaming on my iPad to StreamYard. That's why I use it because I haven't had like problems with it. So I ended that last live stream, said I was gonna stream again, created a new live stream, and then this is what happens. So this is what I'm doing. I'm actually streaming, like what you're seeing now, is on my Google Pixel phone on the T-Mobile network. Last time I did this, you can go see it. It was August 21st. Complete, unbelievably garbage. But this is what I see now. So I still have this loaded on my laptop, or my not my laptop, but my iPad. StreamYard actually changed how they have their things divided up. And so now that I'm on my phone, I can't see my overlays, which is not a good thing. Maybe they think you're not going to be managing overlays on your phone, but I would like to have them. But anyway, this is what you can see. Do you see that? So my screen, sorry, I didn't have time to actually make a good like secondary overlay. My screen, you can see that my camera's working, but it's not loading on the screen. And even now, it's like I can't see it. So I don't know that I'm doing it through DuckDuckGo. I don't know if they were able to interfere with it or something or what. I've never had that happen before. So anyway, the topic of the stream: when authorities gaslight you. So last year I did this whole series of when I did my Sunday updates on Kabul Hope. Um, I did a whole series on manipulation, what it is. And gaslighting is a form of manipulation when people tell you that something is not something that is true that you're experiencing or that actually is reality is not so. That's gaslighting. And people do this all the time. So what I have discovered is a lot of times authorities will gaslight you. So, for example, I've been going in, like, there has been so much crap that has been happening. And so, when I talk to like the police or any other agency, I've been trying to just stay focused on one thing because there is so much crap that's been going on. Here's the thing: when you are like uncovering, uh, when criminals are messing with you, the things you're going to uncover are crimes. So you're going to uncover a lot of them. That's been what's been going on. So the whole hacking thing, like again, you go and you look on the FBI on Google, and the FBI will say that they are one of the people that you are supposed to contact if you've been hacked. Try doing that if you are an individual that is being hacked, and see how far you get. I'm guessing not very far because I have called them multiple times, and it wasn't about the same thing. It was about different things. It was because it was constant, continuous, open, and notorious, right? And I got to the point where like I knew they weren't going to care about if it were just me, right? So I was that first FBI report that I spent 2 months writing and wrote 30,000 words with 100 pages of screenshots backing up everything that I was saying. That was mainly on other activities that the people, the accounts that the individuals I knew that were hacking me, I knew they were involved in these other things. So that report was showing is not just me. What these people are involved in, it's not just some petty little thing dealing with me. It's a lot bigger thing than that. That was the whole point of it. The next day I realized just I didn't even know the extent of the intellectual property theft of everything I've written. And then after that, it was like a continuous thing of like realizing people that were involved, people that I knew. Um, it was a lot. It was a lot. And there has been so much that even just focusing on one thing would take a lot of time to actually like follow through on it. And there's been a crap ton of stuff. So I don't know if I did a live stream about this. I posted about this on Twitter when I went up to the Portland office. That was a whole debacle. I still haven't even like reported, like I've been writing reports on these things, documenting it. I don't even think I've submitted that one yet. But that was a whole debacle. Like I was thinking maybe if I went in person, I'd get a different response. No, No, I did not. And so that was Portland. I thought, you know what? There's one in Salem. I'm going to go and I'm going to see if I get a different response. So it was interesting. I go in there and the setup is completely different. The entire time I was like talking to the agent, I guess, uh, he'd only give me his first name, Craig, and no sort of ID number or identification or anything else, right? I was standing in the lobby the whole time. At least like when I went up to Portland and they were blowing me off, we were sitting at a table while I was telling this. But that was basically what was going on. He was I don't even know what the deal was. He was very hostile. Like when I first went in, I'm thinking, okay, why? And it's like I don't know. He was just like predisposed to blow me up. That's what it seemed like to me. And I even said to him at one point, oh, I don't understand this hostility. And he's just like, well, I'm, just trying to determine if there's a crime. Well, basically, long and short of it, like this is what multiple like police, when I report it to police and also the FBI, when they tell me it's like, well, it's not actually fraud or theft or hacking unless if they take money out of your account. So I don't know what the deal is. I don't know if they actually believe that and they need more education because if I can go on the FBI website or on the state of Oregon, the ORS, which they always refer to, and if I can read that the things that I'm describing are actually crimes, sometimes felonies, when they tell me that these things are not crimes, that's not true. So either there's ignorance or there's corruption, one of the two. I mean, here's the thing. He was trying to tell me that it only, fraud, it only applies if, or that hacking is only concerned if somebody steals money out of your account. That's not true. That's not true. And you can go on the FBI website right now. And this is only a partial list of the things that they say they investigated. And Craig was telling me that that wasn't so. I told him, now this was happened after the last time I went physically into the FBI office. I said that I had gone to the ER at Salem Hospital. I haven't even looked at all of them. Who knows what the heck they put on my chart medical records. Literally have not had time to look at the rest of it. But I said they falsified information on the medical record. There are things that just did not happen. And he's like, well, basically that they can do that. No, they can't. They cannot do that. Okay. So not only is this a low battery again on my iPad. It is a crime. Let me see, let me get to the right one. I'm just going to my iPad. Is this the right one? Okay, that's healthcare matters. I want to see which one is it. Okay. So I told him, this is falsifying business records. This is a class A misdemeanor under Oregon law. And he's like, well, you tried to tell me the hospital is in business. Yes. Yes, we are. That would apply. Falsifying records. Yeah, that's a crime. And then he's like, well, this is state. Okay. So it's also federal. It's also a federal crime. And that is actually one of the things that the FBI primarily investigates is healthcare fraud. So I don't know. It's just so bizarre because this is the thing. I don't work for the FBI, but I have read their press releases that they put out. I've read their information they put out. I follow instructions. I have good reading comprehension skills. And it seems to me like a lot of times I maybe know more than what the people working there do. I don't know. Either that or they're just automatically predisposed to be in an adversarial position to anybody that comes in and reports a crime. So basically, the long and short of it, my impression of what I'm getting now that actually, he did say this. You're going to have an attorney handle this for you. So basically, you have to get an attorney. So I shouldn't need an attorney. I should just be able to go, like, this is a crime. I should be able to go to whatever relevant agency there is and report that crime. I shouldn't need to have an attorney to do that because that's their job. That's their job to investigate the crimes. I'm not the criminal. I'm the victim. You should be investigating that. But according to Craig, I have to get an attorney to have any sort of justice done or any sort of response from the FBI or any relevant authorities. That's basically it. So I will say this: he had a hostile like demeanor towards me. I don't know what that was about. Really don't. But I will give him, like, out of all the interactions that I have had with people, I will give Craig a C minus, which is actually a good thing because in this whole little saga, most people flunk, totally flunk. They're corrupt, lie, whatever. And I don't think he was. I don't know what sort of circumstances were creating his mindset. Like when I walked in, I don't know. I don't know what was going on, but I give him a C minus because he did actually go and verify information. And I respect that because again, you don't just believe something that anybody says, you should check and verify it. So this is when it gets interesting. So there were a couple things he checked and verified. It does actually really kind of piss me off that he told me that the Salem hospital falsifying my medical records was like not a problem. He said you have to file a complaint with them. It's a freaking crime. It's a crime. I actually did call the Salem police, and I don't know if this is the thing. I've had a lot of calls that I know are AI clones. They're fake. Like my phones have been hacked, and so I know that some of the calls I'm getting are not actually real people. So I called dispatch uh the night that within an hour of me seeing this medical record, within an hour of it being uploaded to my account, I called the Salem police and I said, this is not right. And I gave a list of the things that were not right about it. And I said, I want to file a report about this because it's called dispatch. Somebody called back, said his name was Liddy, I guess. And I do have the case number that he gave me. Who knows if it's for real or not. But anyway, he told me that he researched it before he called me back. And he said, this is a civil matter. You just have to get get an attorney to file a civil lawsuit for you. That's not true. It's a crime. It's a crime. So again, there's several possibilities. There's a possibility that call could have been a voice clone and it wasn't actually an officer from the Salem police at all. Could have been, because that's what's been going on with my phone. I don't know. Second possibility that it was actually a Salem police officer and he got paid off. Could be police corruption. I don't know. Third possibility is that he really just doesn't know squat. That's another possibility. And if that's the case, then I think they need some remedial reading classes and also some practice on reading comprehension. That's what I think. Could be any of those things. So anyway, so while I was in the FBI office, Craig is verifying some of the things that I was saying. Totally fine. Completely respect that. But then there's somebody that I gave a power of attorney to for some certain things. And I mentioned that. And he's like, this is the thing. I should not have to have an attorney for this kind of crap because this is literally like your job to investigate and deal with these things. But anyway, so he called the office of the person that I had given this power of attorney to. So here's when it gets really interesting. So then he gets a call back from somebody who saying there's this person that has this power of attorney. And what this person said was that I contacted them about 10 years ago, but didn't contract with them or whatever. And then I keep sending emails since then. Okay. So then let's just wrap it up with Craig. So then I can tell it's like he's hostile to begin with, and then this is he completely blows me off. It's basically contact the FTC. We're not basically didn't say this, but basically we're not going to do squat. I had not gotten to the point where, because again, there's been so much stuff happening that I did not even mention that I had been getting voice calls. So there would have been no reason for him to suspect that was a voice call. But I know that was not the person who has my power of attorney. And this is why. And I didn't even get into it. I mean, the guy was hostile to begin with. So it's like you can tell. You can tell when you're going to get somewhere or not, So anyway, so I'm going back and I'm thinking, I mean, so let me explain how I know the person that has this power of attorney. And then you can understand why the story that was getting was completely not even close to reality. And then I know that there's just no way. So the person that has my power of attorney, I have to watch my battery. They said I met them 10 years ago and came into the office. That wasn't true. it was actually had to do with our shady ISD school board election. They came into a poll where I was handing out cards, which is totally not something I would normally do, but there was crazy stuff going on with that election. They were voting there, and I just mentioned some of the things that were going on, and the person gave me their card, their personal cell phone number, and also the name, email, and phone number for a friend of theirs who was a journalist. And they said, "Oh, I can help you with this." Okay, I did not contact him personally or his firm at the time. Knowing what I know now, I probably should have, because I had no idea, like, of what pushing back against their shady school board, what that would basically lead me to getting targeted. At the time, I mentioned this before. I had during the election, and I wasn't a candidate. I was just a parent speaking, saying my opinion and calling out the gaslighters on their lies. My phone was hacked, but I had a BlackBerry Prim at the time, and I just reformatted it and took care of that. Not like this Google Pixel that I've reformatted multiple times and still getting hacked. Anyway, my phone was hacked. I don't know that I would have been able to tell, like, on my devices if they were. I don't know. My phone, it would like turn on and off. It would like overheat. It was just a lot of stuff. Anything you read about signs your phone's being hacked, that was happening to mine. So my phone was being hacked. I had somebody tried to break into our apartment. I had my car was sabotaged. It was this weird. It was just like this weird thing that happened at church. Just a bunch of weird stuff. But I mean, at the time I still felt like I believe that people that I thought were involved were like basically decent people that just had different perspective on things. I didn't realize that they were like basically completely sold out, morally depraved. I also didn't know until a year later, after the 2018 general election, about the political alignment and the connections between what was going on in our school district in Austin and nationwide. I didn't know that until over a year later. So anyway, I contacted his friend instead of him about it, and that friend has passed away. So briefly met him talked to him for 5 minutes, just about like local community political stuff. 7 years ago, didn't contact him then. I contacted his friend, and then I didn't actually contact him again until 2022, when I was starting to work with the Afghans, and I was trying to figure things out. And I just have to, because I was contacting a lot of people, like anybody, I didn't know what I was doing, so anybody that I thought might know something or may know somebody who knew something, I was just sending them a message, because it was just like connections were coming in really weird ways. And last night I was just looking through some posts I made or things I was sharing to people from that time. And I just like, it was crazy, but it was just like so much fun, because it was like such a crazy situation. I would be like, how did I even get involved in this? This is before I knew, like, you know, like people weren't who I thought they were. That hasn't been fun. But anyway, what's going on? I don't know what happened there. So anyway, so I had contacted him about that. And so we were kind of like talking back and forth after that. And then there was this other crazy thing that happened it had to do with publishing. And that is when I was talking to him more about legal issues, and he told me to send like an email to his work email. So anyway, and that was at his instruction. So you can see, and I've had conversations after that, so you can see that like what that person said was like so totally not even close to what happened. It's like, but am I going to tell Craig that? No, because Craig is like has like this antagonistic attitude towards me, like from the jump. So anyway, but thinking about it, here's the thing. This is what I've learned. People, if you have somebody stalking you, it's probably somebody you know. And sometimes it's hard to believe, because you wouldn't think that people you know would do something like that. But that's the truth. It's probably somebody you know. And I did not meet the person that has my power of attorney 10 years ago, but I did meet somebody that was connected to them 10 years ago, or had a connection to them 10 years ago, about 10 years ago. It was either 2012 or 2013. I don't remember. It was after the March of Remembrance. I remember that. But they were causing trouble on the street, shoved somebody. I pulled over, stopped, went up and talked to them, say, hey, what's going on? And they're like, everything's fine, nothing's going on. And so if the person who is impersonating somebody is watching this, what did I tell you when I stopped you on the street? I told you be good, right? Obviously, you haven't been. So here's the thing. Your impersonation is obvious. So after this, I went and I saw that there had been a response to an email that I had sent. It was on one that I don't check really often. It was so obviously not the person that I had sent it to. It was just the writing was horrendous. Here's the deal. Your writing sucks because you don't read enough. You don't know how to use words properly. And I have to say, all that money that was spent on your private Christian education obviously was a waste. So here's the thing. I've already reported that, not to the FBI, because quite frankly, my experience with the FBI has not been good. But it has been reported. And I don't know how many times your dad's like saved you from the consequences of your actions, but that is not going to happen this time, because I'm also guessing you've been watching these updates and following along. You should have stayed out of it, because I literally do not care. You come against me, you, I don't care who it is. I've reported people way closer to me than you, because I have no connection to you and I don't care. So anyway, it was a big mistake. It was a big, big, big mistake. And I don't know what your out is, but it certainly isn't continuing what you're doing. Just saying. So anyway, that was this week. That's my little update. And oh man, I think I'm gonna call this good, because this is my second update today. But yeah, that's what's been going on. And so I think that like the contact form on this is the thing, my contact email seems to still be screwed up, but on my Race to Walk site. But I do have some backup methods of getting contacts through my contact form. So you need to contact me, go to racewalk.org, go to contact, and we can connect there. Again, my phone, I have no idea whether it's going to get through or not. And honestly, at this point, I really don't trust like phone calls, because there's been so many fake calls that it's like, who knows. But anyway, I hope you guys are having a good weekend, and I'm going to go and do some more writing. Who knows about what? Hope you have a great day.